Army, and we're going to see what they are doing during this time. It's a holiday season.
Yes, exactly. How you can give back.
Exactly. As well as Savino from High Tanks Brewing Company. He's a New Yorker, great accent. Yeah, has owned a lot of bars. So we're going to find out how he ended up in Yuma, Arizona, more specifically in Welton. So stay with us for What's Up Yuma Radio, beginning right now on KOFA 94.7 FM.
And streaming online at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. And you can stream right now on the Border Radio Facebook page and KAWC YouTube page. And email us at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com.
What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter is sponsored by Yuma and Imperial Valley Wealth Management, offering solutions for those who value financial planning. YIVWM.com.
Chili from Philly. Unique Papa Giorgio from Yuma.
What's Up Yuma? Welcome to another episode of What's Up Yuma Radio. I'm Johnny.
And I'm Ronnie.
And on today's program, we have another Johnathan.
He said, call me John.
Yeah, he said John, though.
Yeah, when he shook my hand firmly, he said, I'm John.
You know, growing up, everybody would, that's what they called me, John. And then later on, when I got into show business, you know, I guess we can call this show business.
Call this the biz.
Yeah, I went by Johnny. But my grandma would always call me John Boy. From the Waltons. Anybody know the Waltons, or am I dating myself with that?
I kind of know.
And you? No? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know.
No, I don't.
No, we're talking to the lieutenant. You're a lieutenant for the Salvation Army. Is that how that works? Awesome. All right. Thank you for being with us. This is obviously the season where we start to see a lot more of the Salvation Army, I would assume, at different grocery stores. Is that correct? Ringing bells, right?
You'll see them all across Yuma County, all those major retailers.
All right. So let's do what we do. And what we do is get to know our guests. All right. So how did you become a lieutenant? But first, where are you from original?
Yeah, I was born in Tacoma, Washington, and raised in Montana.
Okay. Yeah. Raised in Montana. What was life the early years?
Oh, man. Early years in Montana, always outdoors.
Much
cooler
it's
than
pretty
Yuma,
up
right?
there.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so outdoors. What'd you do? What'd you enjoy to do outdoors? Get into trouble? Were you a troublemaker, John?
I was a troublemaker through and through.
Ah, great. That's good. You're in good company.
Were you raised on a farm?
I was not. I was raised in Bozeman, Montana, which is like
a city,
one of the bigger cities.
Okay.
No,
You're a city boy.
I'm a city boy.
Okay.
So are you like graffitiing and stuff?
You know what? Never got into graffiti, but I got into plenty of fights and enough trouble.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how'd you end up in Yuma?
Right on. So I'm appointed by the Salvation Army. My wife and I we both share the title of Corps Officer. Okay. And so the Salvation Army sent us here in 2021 to be the local leaders for the Salvation Army.
Okay. Wow. So Linda, let's go into, but when you were young, what did you want to be? What did you want to do?
Yeah. I wanted to be a United States Marine.
Okay.
Wow.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
So was that because you kept getting into trouble?
Yeah,
were they like,
much.
The Army's for you, boy?
Yeah, it was definitely the Marine Corps.
The Marines. They don't say Army.
Sorry. I know. My son wants to go to the Air Force. I'm like, I got to get all of them. Like, right.
Mad respect.
I'm sorry about that, Ronnie.
Was that
no, I'm just kidding. No.
I said
No. People do take it serious.
Yeah.
Some people take it pretty serious, right?
Yeah, like I'm not that.
Yeah. But no. So you're in the Marines.
Yeah.
You wanted to do it. Yep. What do you want to do in the Marines?
So I wanted to be a grunt through and through. I wanted to be
that toughness?
That's like the bottom. Yeah.
Like because you were a fighter, you wanted to be a grunt. So explain what a grunt does. What's the official position of a grunt in the Marine Corps?
What's the job description?
If you think about when you see those movies like Saving Private Ryan or Band of Brothers or any war movie, you know, those are the guys on the front lines.
Oh,
and
wow.
Always wanted to do that. Loved those films. Always had a sense of patriotism and post 9/11, I was in high school during that era. There was a lot of that desire, at least in Bozeman, where I was at to go and serve your country.
Okay, so that kind of did something, sparked something in people to get them to say, okay, I want to sign up. I want to serve. I love my country. So you're doing that. So you go in and you went to the recruiter's office and like, make me a grunt. Like what was?
Yeah, unfortunately, I did. At 17.
You're like, save the speech. I'm ready.
It's like,
my dad, he had other plans though.
Oh.
He said, look, if you're going to join. So I graduated high school January 22nd of 2025. And then I went to boot camp on the 24th, 2 days later. I was 17. My dad's like, look, you're not going to be a grunt. Go do some artillery Amtracs, get behind some armor or something. I was like, that sucks, but I'll do it, Dad. Anyway, so ended up becoming a Stinger missileman, which is shoulder fired surface to air missiles.
Okay, so okay. Is it like
That
what you said?
cool.
Like you have something on your shoulders?
Like a bazooka?
If you've ever seen Charlie Wilson's War, it's a good movie with Tom Hanks, and they're taking out Russian Heinz and MiGs and things like that, and think of a bazooka, but something that launches and takes out an airplane or an aircraft. Yeah,
that's what you did.
Well, I never got to do that. I have fired,
but you got trained.
Yeah, you were trained to do it, right?
Definitely.
Okay.
So you had to practice, right?
We had some practice.
You had to have shot it. Yeah, that's exhilarating.
It was exhilarating, and I'm 100% on that weapon system. So, they're so expensive. I only got to fire it once.
Oh, really? That's it.
Wow, I bet.
Okay.
Yeah. They're like,
It's
this is your one shot to do this.
Literally.
Yeah,
So,
you had one shot. How'd you do it? Did you do okay on that one shot?
I nailed it.
Nailed it. Oh, good job.
Don't mess with you.
Right on. Yeah. So you're in the Marines. How long were you in the Marines for?
I did 5 years in the Marines. So I was 17 and I got out when I was 22.
Okay.
Wow.
And then what'd you want to do when you were 22?
Well, like I said, I was a troublemaker. So I'm just going to say this. I turned down a re-enlistment because I wanted to go to college. And I was like, you know what? Instead of going to Afghanistan, I think I'll go to college. And I turned down $90,000 re-enlistment bonus, which would have been tax-free. Kind of regret that sometimes. But anyway, I went and I went to school and studied network and communication management through like DeVry.
Oh, okay. I remember that. I remember those commercials, DeVry, So you went to DeVry and instead you turned down that money. You're broke, right? And you're like, okay, I better figure out a trade or something.
Yeah.
So you did that. So at DeVry, did you like it?
You know what? I liked it. The problem was, in short, I was a bit of an alcoholic and I was struggling with some things in my life. And I found myself in a pretty dark place. So I kind of dropped out of school. Ended up living on a couch.
On somebody else's couch? Is that what you're saying?
My own sister's couch.
Your sister's couch.
Not even your own couch.
It wasn't even my own
I get
couch.
that.
I lived on my mom's couch for a while after I lost everything. So you're in good company.
I lived with my mom for 2 years after I hit rock bottom.
This is good company here. This is
like we've all homeless,
hit
like everything. So I read your bio. So I know what you're talking about. So what happened?
So I'm going to just put it this way. Landed up behind bars and realized that wasn't the place where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And
are you allowed to say which bars?
Which bars?
Jail or prison?
Oh, yeah. Actually, both.
Both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Been to
Okay.
both.
All right.
Where at? Can you say?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was in jail in Tacoma, Washington, and landed behind Washington State Penitentiary in Washington. Yep. The pen.
Can you share for how long?
Sure. 5 years, actually. So I served 5 years in the Marines, and right behind that, I served 5 years in prison. And I kind of joke around, dead serious on this one. I always tell people I got to struggle with alcohol. I say, I break out with 12 gauges and I shouldn't touch that stuff ever again. So kind of a dark place in my life, but it turned for good.
Yeah. So, okay. Do you mind talking about the dark place at all? Do we move on?
Yeah. How much time you got?
Okay. We got some time. So
we're here for it. Yeah.
So you said the alcohol. So the alcohol kind of, I wouldn't say made you, but led you into that. You're making bad decisions. It's because you're consuming this. And was it because, you were drunk one day, or what was it?
No, there's so much behind that.
So a lot to it.
Is it like PTSD too? Because of all the things you saw, maybe?
I could contribute to some of that, but I'm just going to say I made some poor life decisions.
Gotcha.
I own those decisions. The best thing that ever happened to me was to meet Jesus behind bars. And I'll tell you what, while I was there, I was very privileged to actually get to attend a community college where I earned a 2-year degree.
Very cool.
I got some opportunities to do some other schooling. I earned an Associate of Arts, which was what I was trying to do in the get-go.
Yeah.
From the onset, I had all the distractions. started running, started doing some healthy things, and like working out.
So you developed healthy practices mentally, physically, spiritually, while you're locked up for those 5 years.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. You took advantage of the time.
Yeah.
Instead of just staying, because you can drink and get high in prison.
You can do all
I've
those
seen the
things.
documentaries.
Yeah, wasn't P. Diddy just caught with something? Like,
Was he?
P.
I
Diddy
think he was drunk. No, he was drunk.
Yeah, he was drunk. He was
Like,
caught
duh.
drunk. Yeah.
That guy's got everything he needs in jail. Okay.
But so you can do those things, but you said the precipice of it, like somebody introduced you to Jesus or something, or like that's a
2010, December 16th, I was given this small book. It was called Winning Against All Odds in Tacoma, Washington, in Pierce County. And in the back of this book, there was a simple prayer. I said that prayer, I was at a place in my life where it was real dark. And I remember just looking at some tiles on the wall and thinking, you know what, I'll end this. I was facing some serious time. And in short, I said that prayer, accepted Jesus into my life, and some doors opened, even though those weren't literal physical doors as I had hoped.
Okay, so
you kind of had to stay in the room.
So you're saying some options open to you. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
Yeah, I'm going to say some options opened. I received some grace in my life, some mercy that I didn't deserve.
So is that grace and that mercy tied to, like you said, you were facing some serious time, and it sounds like you take ownership of it.
Sure.
So then you'd be like, well, actually, maybe I kind of deserve this, but I know about the gospel. They would be like, okay, you don't get what you deserve, right? That's part of it. So that's where the mercy comes in, because you deserve this, and now you're going to be forgiven. So is that the path that came forward, and maybe you didn't get that time that you possibly deserved?
Yeah, absolutely. In a Christian worldview, as you've articulated so good. I mean, mercy is not getting what you deserve, and grace is getting something you don't, right? So I received all those things.
That's awesome.
And was try to just walk in the newness of life with Jesus.
And I love that, like I said, you learned from it, and you stuck with it. You didn't just waste your time in prison.
Yeah, definitely. I had somebody come into my life who was the institutional chaplain. If you've ever seen the movie Shawshank Redemption, like Andy Dufresne.
I have never seen it.
Really? You got to watch it.
I know, like I love movies, but that's like one that I
just haven't seen.
Yeah, I just haven't seen it.
Yeah,
it's good.
Well, Andy's given an office. I mean, he's given basically the keys to the prison in a sense. And I was able to, in turn, like, not only receive this education, but have this sweet job where I got to help other inmates and even help them kind of navigate like a release plan and things like that. But one person really saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself, and opened many doors for me. And he was a chaplain. So he was a Christian, and I got to meet daily with that dude. And
so he would go to the daily?
So he was the institutional.
So he worked there.
So
he okay,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been to prison. That's one thing.
Me neither.
But I didn't know how it works. But there's a guy that stays there. He's on the clock, and he started to meet with you daily.
So Monday, I would say at least 6 days a week. So I was his chaplain's assistant.
I love it.
And if he needed something done that I could do within, the scope of my work, I'd assist him with that.
Wow.
And to be trusted like that too.
Yeah,
it was huge.
And it started to give you confidence?
Privilege.
Yeah.
Did it give me confidence? Of course. With my walk, with my Christian journey, things like that. But just to have somebody that's much more mature in the faith to model that and help me navigate where I was.
Well, that's how we learn, right? Anyway, that's monkey see, monkey do is like the basis of how we learn anything. Like my daughter, she's one, and she's learning because I'm like mimicking things, or like using my mouth like this, and I'm like, wow, she's picking it up. So you found somebody to kind of model that and show what a person of faith really acts like.
Yeah, definitely. It was good to see not only him but others, because as my job was basically to arrange setups for a ton of different religions, different faiths, stuff like that, to make sure that they had access to their faith practice and their worldview.
So, okay, so we're going to go to break here in a minute, but I like that part. So you said that also these other faiths, you were able to help them make sure they have, like, whether it's Muslim or Buddhist or Hindu or whatever. So you were still part of that. Like, how does that work? Can you explain a little bit?
Yeah, so just facilitating a space for them to practice their own faith. It didn't necessarily mean that I participated or but just to help the chaplain and an institutional chaplain in any prison. They're tasked with facilitating
all of
variety,
them.
a plethora.
Yeah, because like I said, there's
faith
chaplains. I know I'm familiar with the ones at the hospital and stuff like that, and they have to facilitate all the faiths. And the ones on the Marine base, you got to accommodate. Now, but this particular guy was a Christian.
Yep.
But then he still knew his role is to accommodate and still facilitate. And now you're doing that now. I'm very interested in this, so I have to ask: did it in your mind interfere with your Christian faith having a guy get a Quran or?
At that time in my journey as an early Christian and going to school at the time, I was taking things like philosophy of religion or sociology. And yeah, it absolutely did challenge my own belief.
It challenged it a bit,
but I have no problem because the privilege for me to get to practice how I want to practice was presented, and I would want that for anyone else.
I love that.
Yeah, I really like that too. And like you're saying, it comes from like the least places that you expect it, that you grow and learn. I mean, I'm sure you didn't think you'd go to prison and get religious, by any means. But like when I went to the mission, so the Crossroads mission here in town, I'm sure you know what it is. I went there for 4 months, and I hated being there because it's rehab, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. And there was one guy there. He was the pastor. His name was Gilbert, and I really gravitated towards him, and he never pushed anything on me, just like loving and kind, and we're still friends today, so I just love that it comes from like the least place that you expect it.
Yeah, and I will give a shout out to my former mentor, Chris Tortorici. Same thing. Since I was 16, and he modeled it and role modeled all of it and showed me, okay, this is what it means to be a person of faith. And I really, really liked that. I really respect that. You said that, okay, I was able to get this privilege. I want to make it fair and accessible to everyone and everybody's religion so they can practice. So very cool. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to find out how you ended up with the Salvation Army on the other side of it and what the Salvation Army is all about. All right.
Amen.
All right. We're going to do this after a quick break. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
The City of San Luis presents the Asado and Brew Festival, starting at 3 on November 22nd at Joe Orduño Park. Food, local brews, and live entertainment will be featured, along with a car show, lucha excitement, and activities for kids. Details are available by finding San Luis Parks and Recreation on Facebook.
You're tuned to 94.7 FM. I'm Juan Garcia from the KWC Newsroom. The weather forecast for Yuma today is partly sunny with a high near 84 and a northwest wind around 5 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy tonight with a low around 66. A new 30,000 square foot Veterans Clinic is coming to Yuma in 2027. For more details, visit kawc.org/news. Stay tuned for more What's Up Yuma with Johnny and Ronnie on 94.7 FM, KOFA Border Radio.
Hi, everyone. My name's Kathy, host for KOFA's K-Pop for Border program. This week, we are bringing you an encore broadcast of our collaboration show. We will feature K-pop artists working with other artists, including Rosé and Bruno Mars, who brought us Apathy, which was recently nominated for a Grammy Award for Record of the Year. Join me for K-Pop for Border on Saturday afternoon at 1 on KOFA 94.7 FM and on the KOFA app.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. We are here talking to Lieutenant John from the Salvation Army. And once again, thank you for sharing your backstory.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. And how you came to faith. So how do you end up at the Salvation Army? Because I think you were talking to Dave or somebody. A lot of people don't know it's also a church, right?
I didn't know that.
I shared with you guys, when my wife met me, she's like, where do you go to church? I said, the Salvation Army. And she totally thought it was like in the thrift store. But it's a Christian church. It's been around since 1865. We're in 134 countries around the world. And how I met the Army was my family was rescued by the Salvation Army in the early 90s. We were homeless. We had no place to go.
Wow.
And we were in Puyallup. My dad walked us along River Road to Hilltop, Tacoma. And we were taken into a family shelter in the early 90s. We were brought into not only the shelter, a Salvation Army officer just like me, put her arm around my dad, and he accepted Jesus. We got connected to the church. We got to go to summer camps, go through their different religious programs and social programs, and so
So that was the early, but then
Exactly.
how'd you get back into it later? Like how'd you get involved?
I was raised in it.
So you were raised in it. Okay.
Absolutely.
So you were always familiar, but then you had your dark moments, and then when it's time to come back after prison, is that what it was?
Yep. So I had somebody that stayed into contact with me. They had seen some of my dark days, and his name was Major Donald Shepard, and he was writing me, and he saw something in me that, again, I didn't see in myself, but he invited me to his church. This was back in Tacoma, Washington. And I mean, he would drive from Tacoma all the way up to Kent, where I was living at the time, just to make sure I was there. So I attended his men's group. He even let me stay at his house. I couldn't find any work. And so he actually hired me as a bell ringer driver for the holidays, gave me a shot as a part-time gig. And that opened the door for me through employment. So just throwing it out there, one of the beautiful things about the Salvation Army is that we hire without discrimination.
I know that because I worked there. I told you. They discriminate.
Johnny's got a pass.
Yeah. I was 15 when that happened. That's 95. But it was a summer school program where I actually got paid from the program, but I just went over there and got to sift through everything that people dropped off. But
Great gig.
Oh, it was great. I actually loved it. Yeah. I loved it. I loved the guy I worked with, and he was a like crotchety old man, and very ornery, and he could be mean, but I loved him, so it was fun. But so you're okay. So you're getting in there. You have employment, and you're getting acquainted with the values and everything that the Salvation Army has.
Yeah, I like to say when I'm sharing this story that I've been rescued twice by the Salvation Army. First time, as I mentioned, early 90s. Second time in about 2015. And that job turned into opening the door for another one. And so I was a shelter intake worker overnight. Tacoma's a pretty rough spot. It can be a pretty interesting place to operate a shelter. And I'd help with a little bit of operations. Then
intake, you're helping people come in in
come
the middle
into
of the night.
Come in, starting right like in the middle of the day, but then I'm still working like overnight in the shelter. Yeah.
So wow, tell me what that was like.
Kind of wild. Like I said, Tacoma was a pretty crazy place at times, particularly Hilltop during that period. But you'd see some pretty amazing stuff as far as just getting to help these people who are in a place like my family once was.
Yeah, down and out. So so you're there, and then you kind of just I guess the Army and your lieutenant, you rise through the ranks.
So to become an officer in the Salvation Army, you have to be a part of the church. And so I became a part of the church. I became a member, which is called soldiership.
Okay.
And you do things like you covenant with the Lord. And in this case, I would swear off basically alcohol, tobacco, things that are danger to my body, mind or soul. And, I acknowledge that I'm going to live my life in a Christian worldview through the doctrines of the Salvation Army. But with that, so you serve, and then a pastor may see something in you, and they say, you know what, I think you've got this calling. And so you have to kind of be invited. And then there's quite a bit of a lengthy process, and a bit of a miracle that I get to do what I do today.
Oh, cool.
Right.
So how long did it
take? You can't really
you?
just apply for it.
How long did it take you to become lieutenant?
The whole process. So I've been an active Salvation Army officer for 5 years now.
Okay.
I've been with the Salvation Army through training 7. And so we have a 2-year Bible school that's over in Southern California in Long Beach. And that's 2 years of kind of on the job training.
So you do that. And so now if somebody would go to the church at the Salvation Army, are you the preacher? Is that your
Yeah, my wife and I both.
Okay.
Oh, so is that how you met her?
Yes. So I met her actually through christianmingle.com.
I love it.
But actually, we just celebrated our anniversary the other day too. 9 years.
He looks at his watch.
9 years.
Oops.
9 years. Wow.
So,
Okay.
Oh, yay.
Congratulations.
We just celebrated 7 and I forgot. It just flies by. Like it's another day though, like we're married every day. But
so let's dive into a little bit. What's the mission for the Salvation Army?
Yeah, the mission is to preach the gospel of Jesus and to meet human need in his name without discrimination.
Okay, so then you preach it by meeting those needs.
Yeah, we preach it by doing both of those things. The Salvation Army, we do a lot. We have a lot of social outreaches, whether that's a shelter, whether that's through our summer camps, whether that's through our feeding programs. Yuma specifically, we have a lot.
Yeah. So I think my buddy Eddie Perez, his dad was a pastor there at one point in time. So I got to check with Eddie, but I'm pretty sure. I used to go to church, a different church with him when I was a kid, but
they were envoys for the Salvation Army. They were
envoys?
envoys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which means that they were like local pastors.
Gotcha. Okay. So you said that's the mission. So you also have events, right?
Ton of events throughout the year. One of those that's coming up is our Angel Tree program, which is launching tomorrow. And our bell ringing, that's also launching tomorrow.
What is the Angel Tree one? I think we know the bell ringing one pretty good.
Yes.
And I'm familiar with the Angel Tree one as well, but those listening that might not know.
Sure. Angel Tree is to sponsor youth in this community or families, I should say too, that, when we look at Christmas, we look at gifts and we say, there's needs and there's wants. Well, we all want to provide gifts for children, right? But we realize that when you have to decide between, paying bills, families are going to pay the bills first, right? So Angel Tree is a program that provides gifts for Yuma County children. And this year we're going to provide over 750 children with gifts, and each family is going to receive a Christmas food box as well. Yeah.
So how do you do that?
So all of the signups have already happened.
Okay.
That list is completely booked, and we have a wait list. And so families that will be receiving those gifts, those things will be distributed, I believe, on December 22nd.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where do the gifts come from?
They come from the community. I mean,
It's like donations.
Yeah. So folks can go and they can pick a tag at a Walmart, or there's so many different locations across Yuma County. This thing is huge.
Yeah, I've seen it in other places where they'll put it up hey, we have this, and then to advertise you can come get one.
Yeah. And you'll go to Walmart or Sam's Club, and there's a tag, and that tag represents a legitimate kid. The thing about this program is that each family has been vetted at below the poverty line.
Okay.
And so these are families that are in 100% need, but on those tags, there's a list of recommended gifts or requested gifts, clothing sizes, and I think they have 3 options. Each kid's going to get about 8 to 9 gifts, as well as a set of clothing and some shoes, usually.
So if I want, I just take the tag, or what would I do?
Tag.
Yeah.
And there's instructions on the back of those tags.
Okay.
We've got drop-off locations at every single fire station in Yuma, the Salvation Army, every Walmart, the Sam's Club that's in town, and then there's some other information on the back of that.
Beautiful.
Yep.
And then the bell ringing, where that's to raise money, and then that money goes to help do other things. Can you explain?
Yeah. So if you were to come to the Salvation Army Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday, we have some APS rental. We've got food boxes Tuesdays and Thursdays. We've got 2 veterans financial assistance programs. We send kids to summer camp. Those funds that are raised, they stay local to help families or individuals that are in need in Yuma.
Very cool. Very cool. So then when you see them out there ringing the bell, now or people listening or watching, they know, okay, this is where my money's going, as to these things. And you said anybody could go by Monday through Thursday to kind of see and witness these things?
So yeah, if you're in need, if there's somebody that you may know is in need, or yourself, you just want to come and take a tour, some of the things that they're going to see is our feeding program that happens Friday night tonight. We're going to feed about anywhere from 40 to 80 people, predominantly unsheltered in the north end of Yuma. We call that our Harvesting Hope meal. It's called the Gleaning, and volunteers make that meal happen. Monday through Thursday, we do a sack lunch program. It's to, again, reach out to those people that are unsheltered and try to get them connected to resources like Crossroads or some stable housing or some mental health services, or anything we can do to try to just be a good neighbor and meet some need.
Awesome.
So anything else as we close, anything you want to get out there real quick?
Any other events?
Yeah, if you could help us, the Salvation Army, by ringing one of those bells, a group, as an individual, a family, you go to registertoring.com, that's registertoring.com, and you can sign up. We've got a ton of different options. You can sign up whatever location you want that's available. It's just registertoring.com. Help us out, please.
Where are you located?
We're located at 445 South 4th Avenue in the north end of Yuma, right across from 4th Avenue Junior High.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember you were somewhere else for a long time, like by Sears or something.
Well, no, they used to be. That's
That was
Goodwill.
the
that's the competition. I'm just kidding.
No,
they were on
Salvation
Arizona.
Army.
Arizona.
Yeah.
No, Salvation Army is on. It was on Arizona.
We've moved a lot.
Yeah.
So, but we built this new location 2 years ago. And we also have a client choice food pantry down in San Luis at 1910 East Cesar Chavez Cultural Center.
Nice.
Cool. Anything else? That's good.
Well, there's a ton more.
There's a ton more. Okay, all right, cool.
Should we say hi to your wife?
I think you were going to say something right then. I thought you were going to.
I got to keep going.
Okay.
Let me clarify that about San Luis because I confused something. I'm sorry. I'm extremely tired.
No.
But
you're right.
1910 East Cesar Chavez. And it's Suite 6. That is our client choice food pantry for anybody in South County that needs some food Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay. I knew there was something. You were like,
He's like, wait, I said that wrong.
Yeah, okay.
You got it.
You clarified it. Thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate you and everything you do and letting us know about your backstory, sharing that with all of our listeners. And you're very gracious. You have that guy in prison that saw something in you. He really saw it and it's here. And I was able to witness it right here. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much.
You bet.
And with that, we are going to take a break. We'll be back with Savino. They just won over at High Tanks the People's Choice Award at the Pint Festival. We're going to talk about that and his career. He's a really cool guy. He's from New York. You're going to hear the accent as soon as he gets on the mic. You're going to do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by Yuma and Imperial Valley Wealth Management, offering retirement planning, investment consulting, and money management aligned with the goals of each client. Appointments and information are at yivwm.com. Investment advisory services offered through CWM LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Mr. Bongo has brass next time on the Retro Cocktail Hour. We'll also hear vibraphonist Mark Riddle's new Exotica record, Lahaina Sunset, plus the big Latin band of Henry Mancini. I'm Darrell Brogdon. Join me where the music's always shaken, not stirred. The Retro Cocktail Hour.
Saturday evening from 7 to 9 on Border Radio KOFA.
For KAWC News in Yuma, I'm Victor Calderon. The Yuma Coalition to End Homelessness held a conference at Arizona Western College in Yuma last week. The agency is a group of nonprofit organizations that assist with food, shelter, employment, housing, and more. Lucia Wilson is the lead for the coalition.
There is a lot of information and a lot of resources that are available to everybody within Yuma County, whether they are homeless on the streets or struggling with food instability, or whether they're struggling with rental assistance, or pretty much any resources. We have agencies here.
Wilson said these days she is hearing from more locals who want information on food programs. The coalition does an annual point-in-time count every January of the people on the streets, the unhoused, and those in emergency shelters. Wilson said the last count found more than 300 people unhoused in Yuma County. For KAWC News, I'm Victor Calderon.
From KAWC, this is Siendo Primero.
Being First is a program created by students for students.
My name is Ajay Bárcenas.
And my name is Evelyn Garcia. Here we will share stories, information, and voices that connect with students' life.
Cada sábado les traeremos un nuevo tema directamente a tus oídos.
This show is available as a podcast or online. Just search kawc.org under the shows tab. A new vision with the same mission: to give students a voice.
The KAWC Student Newsroom is funded by the Local News Initiative at the Community Foundation for Southern Arizona, the Scripps Howard Fund, and by generous local support. Thank you for supporting the next generation of public media. Learn more about the project and hear stories from emerging journalists at kawc.org/student newsroom.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here now joined by Savino from High Tanks Brewing Company out there in Welton. Well, part of Yuma County, but definitely in Welton. And I'm not going to say your last name. I'm going to let you say it. How do you say your last name?
Sterlacci. Real Irish.
I like it. It's pretty.
Right on. And so, yeah, from High Tanks Brewing. And as we do, we like to get to know our guests. So where are you from originally?
I'm originally from my mother.
Yeah, that's probably true for all of our guests.
Okay. I'm from outer space.
Outer space. And I'm originally from New York City, from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I was born in Brooklyn, but I lived in New York till I was 22.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved to Europe and I was a brewer. And I brewed in Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, and Czech.
Wow.
So
let's go back to New York.
Yeah, let's go. So were you doing that in New York? Or?
No, I was going to school.
You're just going to school?
Yeah.
I want to know what it was like to grow up in New York.
I was going to be a baseball player.
So you're going to be the other.
I love that.
A different brewer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Playing for the Brewers.
I wanted to play baseball, and then I blew out my knee.
Oh,
Back then, you were done.
Yeah. Did you do that like playing the game?
I was playing.
You were playing. Oh, you were in a game and you blew out your knee.
Were you sliding?
In Mexico.
In Mexico.
Yeah, I was playing the Winter League. And I was out in Mexico and I was diving for a ball and I just blew it.
So were you outfield? What were you?
I was a center fielder.
Oh, nice.
I was real fast.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you got to be out there.
And I was a switch hitter. So
okay.
Oh, cool.
So you had your baseball career put on. Yeah, it's just like, okay, it's like not going to happen. You blew out your knee, and then you started drinking a lot. Then you could beer. Is that like I'm beer is the next thing?
What
no,
a
I'm just joking.
Contradiction in guess, right? Like our first one's like, I don't drink. Alcohol made me homeless. This guy's like, go beer.
Yeah. So now how did you get into the beer side of it? No, how do you say it? Beer. Say beer.
Beer.
No, say it like you say it. No, beer.
I believed in the 3 B's: baseball, beer, and back then we used to say broads.
Broads. Yeah. Okay, I get it.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, and when one went, I had 2 choices.
I'm gonna go with the beer.
So I went with beer.
You went with the beer instead of the broads.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, you probably die quicker with the broads.
Yeah, I think so.
They'll kill you, man. They'll kill you. I'll tell you what. Then did that prompt the move to Europe?
I wanted to brew. I love beer.
Okay.
And I wanted to. I didn't like the popular beers back then when I was young. So I went.
What was the popular beers back in the 30s? I'm just joking. But no, what was it when you were young?
Well, me and Lincoln went out and I told them do not go to the theater.
So what was the popular beers that you're saying?
Popular beers were from where I'm from. It was like Rango, Schaefer.
Okay.
Like old local beers.
Yeah.
Local beer. Yeah, you weren't something about it. You were just like, no.
It just wasn't my type.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what were you into?
I went to a bar one time when I was like 16.
Okay.
Oops, 18. I guess you can drink.
Now it's 21.
18, yeah.
So when I went to a place and the guy says, well, we don't carry pop, like them beers. And I says, well, just give me any.
Okay.
And I tried it and I went, oh my God.
Something happened.
This is beer.
This is what you've been missing.
This is what I've been missing.
Yeah.
So then it got into my head that when I wanted to just learn about beer because I wanted to play baseball. And then when I blew out my knee, I was like, okay, we're going to do this.
Gotcha.
So I got on a plane.
Wow.
Great story. I got on a plane. I'm ready to go to Europe, but I had to tell my parents.
Yeah.
So I told my mom, I says, Mom, I'm going away. She started crying. She goes, what did you do? I said, not that away.
Not the penitentiary. Not the big house.
I want to go away to learn.
Yeah.
So I flew, and the only plane that I saw was Stuttgart to go to Germany. So I got on a plane, went to Stuttgart by myself, knew nobody in Europe. And I got there, and that next morning I woke up and I knocked on the brewery and I said, I'm looking for a job.
Wow.
And they said, we're not hiring.
Oh my gosh.
I try to get some English in there. And they said, we're not hiring. So I said, okay. So I went home, did a little drinking because I'd never been to Germany.
Sure.
Next day I knocked on their door and I said, you're hiring today?
Oh my God.
And they go, no. I went there for 5 days in a row.
Heck
5 days.
I love
and the
it.
sixth day they says, we have a job for you to clean the floors and everything.
Yeah.
So I got my feet in, and that's all I wanted to. So that night I had no place to stay. So when everybody left, I hid in the bathroom.
Wow.
And the next morning when they walked in, I told them I stayed the night there.
Yeah.
And they went, oh, what did you do? I said, I cleaned all your vats.
Oh.
And they went, you cleaned all the vats? Yeah. And your bathrooms and everything else.
Because they were filthy.
So, no, they were actually pretty clean, but I want to make.
You want to look good. Yeah.
I worked right in and I started working for them.
Wow. What was this company?
It was Dinkalaka.
Well, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So back at Dinkalucker. So you're getting in. So did they teach you there how to brew the beer? They taught you?
I didn't start as a brewer.
Yeah, no, you didn't start there, but are they the one? Yeah, but are they the ones that taught you? That's what.
Yeah.
So what was that? So how did you work your way up? What was next?
Why working?
Just
Just
like what was after cleaning the floors?
I started carrying 100-pound bags. Ooh. And then also going into the vats, the big vats.
Yeah.
Well, in Germany, they're really big. And I had to take a ladder inside and they would get a hose and spray on top of me like a fire hose while I'm scrubbing the vats. And if I could do that and they saw I could do that and I would come out of there, first thing I did was smile. Because that showed them you can't break me.
And that's a value. That's what you want to keep around your outfit, right? Any business person knows.
Hey, I'm going to be 70 in a month and a half, 2 months, and I still have a ton of energy.
You do.
Yeah, you don't. I would not have guessed you were 70.
We're hanging out a week and a half ago at the beer that just got put at Sage and Sand.
Sage and Sand.
And I was ready for bed, and you looked like you were ready to party. It was like 8 o'clock at night. You're like, what are we doing?
We hit 2 other places after.
Did you?
That.
I snuck out. Like I left early.
Yeah, we hit 2 other places after.
It's like I'm not going to hang around this Savino guy long. Man, I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah, I like to go out.
Yeah, and he's 70 years old. So got it. So okay, you're doing that. They teach you how to brew it, and then so you said you went all over.
Yeah, then because you get connections in breweries and stuff like that. So then I moved to Cologne because there's another brewery that asked me to come up there because they saw me working, and they all wanted to learn American back then. They just because you got to realize there was no internet.
Okay, yeah.
They just wanted to be American. They always thought they kept on saying, "So how's Dallas?" And I'm like. What are you talking about?
Yes, Dallas.
They want the show.
Yes, exactly.
The show was real popular.
Yeah.
They just wanted everything about
Dallas. Very cool.
America. They thought America consists of New York, California,
and Texas.
New York, Hollywood, Disney World, Las Vegas, and Dallas.
Yeah, that's it.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And I told them we have places like called Nebraska and
Arizona.
place, and they were like, "Really?"
Like, we don't care about those. But
just like we know about Munich.
Yeah.
We don't know their places either.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's as far as I know about Germany. But so then you start to travel around because of those connections. Okay.
That was the real good part because I went from there to Czech, and it wasn't Czech Republic back then. It was Czechoslovakia.
Okay.
And I stayed there for a while, and I brewed in the best brewery in the world, I thought. It was Pilsner Urquell. And then I left that, and I moved to Holland, or Netherlands, which Americans say Holland, they say Netherlands. And I worked there for a beer called the Ranjeboom, and then left that. And then I went to Belgium and I brewed for a brewery, but I didn't like the beer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't brew for a great brewery. I brewed for like the Bud, the popular beers.
Yeah, the popular beers. Okay, yeah.
Like and I was just like,
It's not your thing.
Yeah, it wasn't your calling. It wasn't. Yeah, you didn't feel it. Cool. So, how'd you end up back here in the States then?
I came back, and my brother ran a large beer distributor in New York. It was the largest Miller House, but it had all different beers. And I came back, and I says, "Oh, I could work." And so I got Bud Miller and Coors offered me a job, and the problem was I just worked at the Four Seasons,
exactly.
And now you want me to go to McDonald's?
Yeah,
like it ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
So what I did was I got up and I moved down to Florida, which I call South New York. And we moved down there and I started opening this place called World of Beer, which was all beer stores. And then after 2001, I started going into the bar business.
Okay. So you had a few of those stores?
I had four stores.
4 stores.
They were called World of Beer. Wow.
So, and then is it like how it sounds? There's a bunch of beer from all around the world.
Well, you got to remember now, this is 1988.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had the largest selection in the South.
Gotcha.
60 beers.
60 beers, largest.
That was the largest. Wow.
Largest selection of beer.
And so you have that, and then you started to get into the bars.
2001, I got into the bar business because I changed 7 laws in Florida about beer.
Like you work with like the legislature.
I was up
and
there for 3 years, for 3 weeks a year.
Oh wow!
What's like some of them you changed?
Well, there was a bottle law in the state of Florida that was only 8 ounce, 12 ounce, 16 to 32 ounce.
Okay.
And that was it. Well, unfortunately, all beers in Europe were metric, and they still are. So I had to try to convince all the politicians or Congress, whatever you want to call them, and tell them, well, what did you drink? And the guy would say, I drank vodka. So when's the last time you drank a quart of vodka?
Yeah.
There is no quart of vodka. It's either 750 or 1.5. So that's metric. That's allowed.
Okay.
But beer wasn't.
But beer.
And I says, oh, what do you drink? And he says, soda. Okay, when was the last time you drank a 2-quart soda? Oh, no, it's called 2 liter. So everything is metric.
Yeah.
Wine, liquor, soda, water, but not beer.
Yeah.
So I had to change that laws.
That's interesting.
So
Like something as kind of almost trivial as that.
Yeah, because the big boys had to control.
But the control. So you did that, mover and shaker. And so we're going to take a quick break, dive in a little bit more into the bar. And then also you did some radio as well. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to find out how you ended up in Yuma, or should we say Welton, after traveling the world. We're going to do that right after this. Yeah. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
Today's day sponsor is Minneapolis songwriter Pat, thanking Border Radio for broadcasting songs he has written, even though he's a complete unknown, to quote another Minnesota songwriter. It's a thrill to be showcased alongside Arizona artists, obscure folks like himself, and music legends. He says, how does it feel? It feels good. Real good. Thanks, Border Radio, and thank you, Yuma.
I'm Maria Hinojosa, next time on Latino USA. The star of the HBO It Show of the Moment, Task. Raul Castillo joins me for guacamole and totopos. I just need to add some. And then you're going to give me the taste test.
Yes.
And you have to just be honest.
Amazing.
That's next time on Latino USA.
Latino USA airs on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM.
Partly sunny in Yuma today with the high near 84. Mostly cloudy tonight with a low around 66. Partly sunny in Flagstaff with the high near 65 and winds that could gust as high as 21 miles per hour. Partly cloudy this evening with low around 34. Mostly cloudy in Kingman with the high near 73 and a 10% chance of rain after 5 p.m. Cloudy this evening with low around 55. And partly sunny in Prescott with the high near 70 and gusts as high as 18 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight with low around 46.
The Yuma County Library District provides activities and resources at its branches for people of all ages. Events include story time, citizenship classes, bilingual programs, crafts, author talks, and more. For more information about the activities and calendar of events, plus other in-person and online resources, visit yumalibrary.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. We're here talking to Savino from High Tanks Brewing Company, and we got a little bit of his past. And we got to the point where now you're opening up bars. And we just found out it was also named the same name as a World of Beer.
Just keep it the
so
same.
you get in the bar. You like the bar business?
It was fun.
Yeah.
Because I did things that nobody else ever did before. I had 1,000 beers in every bar.
Wow.
It had 80 taps and 920 bottles.
So that was kind of like you're like, okay, I'm going to do a bar, but I'm going to do it like this.
Yeah, I did it my way.
You did it your way.
I wonder what your inventory
Did Frank
room...
Sinatra say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your inventory room must have been crazy. Yeah.
So you have that. You had how many at the height of?
There was at one time 47 bars.
47. You said you franchised them.
We franchised them, and then I sold my business.
Yeah. And you said there was actually 3 here in Arizona, huh?
Yeah. One time there was 3. I don't know what they did with it, because once I sold,
once you sold it, it is what it is, right?
Bye-bye.
So you got the bars, you franchised them, you sold them. You said to Outback, you were saying that on the
it's
break?
Outback, one of their
things, whatever.
They have like so many of them.
Yeah. So then, did you at that point? Is that when you retired?
Sort of. Yeah, I retired, and I did consulting on myself. That's how I met my wife.
Oh, how'd you meet your wife?
She was in higher education, and then she retired and went into a bar business down on the beach in Florida. And I went to do a job there to try to help her out. And I looked at it and I said, I have two prices. One, a price is, this is my price, what I charge. And two, are you single? And she said yes. And I says, well, here's my new price.
There's a single price. Yeah.
That was your pickup line.
I fell in love with my wife the minute I saw her.
Oh, very cool.
That.
Yeah. And
I want to hear her side.
Yeah.
we could get her on.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, we could get her.
She's really cool.
Yeah, she's good people. So then how'd you get into radio? How did that fit in? And all this
because when I
business?
had my stores and then my bars, I just got so popular.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just everywhere. I mean, at one time we were rated the best bar in America.
Whoa.
So we were like really popular. I had all the guests. I was on for 4 hours.
Oh my gosh.
So it wasn't a half-hour show. It was a 4-hour show every Saturday.
And it was all about beer?
World of Beer.
World of Beer. So you have all
beer.
these people. So people come on and they talk about maybe like their brew,
I had a lot of people on my staff because they would go somewhere like, say, Colorado, and we would do a live broadcast for my workers. So they'd be in a bar or something, and they would say, we're at this place. This is what they have. If you ever travel to Denver or somewhere, this is what you should have. So we were also doing a little, besides about beer, it was also where you could go.
Where to go. So yeah, like you said, you're flying into Denver, you're right. You're going to get a good beer. You don't want to get
That's neat.
the cheap stuff or whatever. You want to go get something
radio?
good.
Yeah, radio was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was different. It was just because the good part was it was getting the knowledge of people to learn about beer. You got to remember 30 years ago, 25 years ago, people didn't know what beer was. They just knew red, blue, or white can. You know what I mean? Now people come in and they want IPAs. They want goes. They want farmhouse ales. And that's why I think our brewery is great for one reason, because we have a great brewer, Kellen, and we have a good assistant brewer, Greg. And that really makes, we have to get a team, and we're a great team.
Yeah. So you bring that up. So then how did you end up here in Yuma?
I get a phone call. And
and you're retired at that time?
Well, I'm doing consulting.
You're doing consulting.
And my wife gets a phone call and she starts talking to Case and Misty, who are great people. And they come to me and my wife goes, we're going to go to Yuma. And I says, okay, just what country is that? And she goes, no, it's in Arizona. And I went, okay.
And where you at this time?
We were in, I think, in Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay. You're in North Carolina.
And you just said, okay, no fight, no nothing.
Oh, no, wherever she tells
let's
me.
go, honey.
Yeah,
let's go.
We are the smart ones.
She's the educated one. She was a dean. I think we said that off air, right? So you better listen to her. So she said, pack it up. We're going to Yuma.
Pack it up and we're going. And we want to see America.
Yeah.
I knew America because I had bars everywhere.
Yeah.
But I only went to big cities.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never went
Not
to the
little
small.
ones,
I fell in love with Welton.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Because, you're out in Welton.
Yeah, I
Wow.
love Welton. I love the people there. It's just, it's different for me.
Yeah.
I didn't see my first cow till I was 16.
Oh, my gosh.
They don't walk on Fifth Avenue.
Yeah.
They don't. They just don't.
They aren't in Brooklyn.
They're not in the 5 boroughs, huh?
Yeah, no.
So okay, then the phone call happens. She says, honey, pack the bags. You get, you said to Welton, what'd you fall in love with? Was it because it's different?
Okay, first the owners.
Yeah.
They're so down to earth.
Yeah.
That has to be my first key.
Gotcha.
And they're the most down to earth people I ever met. And my wife just says, I think this is like sort of a new place that we're going to love.
Oh.
And this, how long ago?
This is 3 years.
3 years ago. Okay.
wow.
Yeah. So we fell in love. My idea, Case is such a great guy. He says he had this vision. And I think I was in the same ballpark with him because we knew where we have dates. We're a date farm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No one brews. I never heard of a beer in my whole life with dates.
With dates. Okay.
Wow.
So this was like a little thrill to me
Exactly.
to get something new. And I really, really believe that our thing is like just, we're the tip of the iceberg. We have so many more things to do. We're finally selling our beer. And people are coming there and they love it. We have a great venue out there. It's live music. They drink beer. They see the brewery. It's a down to earth. It's one of the best places I've ever been to.
Glamping.
Glamping.
That would be for me.
My glamping is Embassy Suites.
It's all 4 seasons.
Yeah.
I'm a city
You remember?
boy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know?
So you fell in love with it. Did you put together Kellen? Did you find
Kellen
him?
is Case found Kellen.
Kellen? Okay.
We had another brewer from Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay.
I brought him in, and Case. We all talked and we got him in, and he taught Kellen everything.
Oh, gotcha.
And then Kellen is now teaching Greg. So we need, because we're just getting more and more. We get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
We can get bigger, twice as big.
I know
every
you're
month.
out in Welton. Like, is there any expansion maybe towards another place here in town?
I don't make that decision.
Oh. I mean, what, just maybe talking about it. You guys could be everywhere.
Well, we have a tap room that's really, really great. And we're right off exit 8. I mean, Interstate 8.
Yeah.
And that's doing phenomenal. You know, you could try all our beers there. Great pizza. You know, everything is, we're just growing, but we're growing at the right time.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. Like it is interesting to see because it was with Sancho, right? That's what it's called.
Sancho is
Sage and Sand, and it's like an exclusive for them. And it's not even like a High Tanks beer, but it is, but it's not marketed or branded as that. It was actually made exclusive for them.
For them, and he loves it. He absolutely, Mike loves it, and he says that this is exactly what my taste buds were. So we're happy.
Very, very cool. So, and you said what events do you have coming up?
We're going to be at the 22nd. We're going to be at I always say this wrong.
What?
San Luis.
St. Louis.
St.
Louis.
I say St. Louis.
You can say St. Louis. I say it too. I actually said it to our guest from St. Louis the other day.
Okay, so we're going to be up there next week.
The Asado and Brew.
Yeah,
that we had Martine on about. Yeah,
we're going to be up there.
I talked to Martine last night. He's like, I got them. They're going to be. We're going to be out there. I was like, oh, very cool, Martine.
Everybody come and see me. I love to talk a little.
He's got stories.
Yeah, we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
We're going to make people try date beers that they never had before, and we are just a different kind of place, and we love it.
Yeah.
Everybody who works there loves it. Everybody
That's amazing.
who comes there always come again.
Yeah.
And my famous line is when they come there and they says, "Oh, we've never been here." And I always say, "What took you so long?"
Oh, there you go.
I haven't been there.
Oh
my goodness. Ronnie,
you gotta come.
My husband has 4 days off. I'm like, let's go.
Oh, you got to go. You got to
You
go.
could do the glamping out there maybe or something.
I could.
Yeah, just take
I
some
won't
of
bring
those.
my monsters. I'll go by myself.
Yeah.
We have great music out there. We have great food. Everybody's so friendly.
Some yoga.
Except maybe me. No.
No,
you're friendly.
Yeah, I am.
You're good. So what are the plans for the future? Do you know? Like you said, you don't make a lot of the decisions, but like you as a team.
I think we're going to just get bigger.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
So
what
like,
direction we're going to go? We
don't know.
We don't know, but we will get big.
So like beers, maybe in a state called Oregon, maybe one day. I heard there's a connection up there.
Yes.
Anywhere.
The owners are from the Dalles. I said that right, I think. And,
did he, Nolan? Nolan's the fact checker on that.
Yeah. I would go anywhere. I would bring up. But we got to take steps because we know we're making great beer, but now we just don't want to just get ourselves thin.
Yep.
But we know what we're doing.
Very cool.
Growing at the right speed. That's what's
as long as we at the end of the night we have a couple beers, the best comes out then. They all come out.
You have a few and then you make a few, right? Is that how it goes out there? Is that
how it goes?
Is that about right, Nolan?
Well, we always have to taste it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, you have to taste
on
it.
the half hour.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of tasting, but I'm sure if it works.
I'd be sleeping by 2. Yeah.
Yeah, but we tell everybody, come out, visit us. I'm there on weekends. You can say hi to me. I love to talk. Love to tell you everything about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard you have a lot more stories and stuff. So we could really get into
lived
it.
all over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much for being with us. And I hope you enjoy the
Johnny
continued
talked you up
success.
before you got here. He's like, this guy's a character.
Oh,
I love him.
yeah. No, absolutely.
I'm shy.
Fact check that, Nolan. Yeah, is he shy?
True,
False. Okay, and with that, thank you again for being with us.
What's Up Yuma Radio is a production of KAWC, Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. We want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez, along with Anthony Ornelas, Juan Garcia, and Dave Reed.
And you can find out more about KAWC at kawc.org, on Facebook at KAWC Radio, and on the KAWC app. And stay tuned following our program for KOFA Midday Music.
And on Monday's program, we're going to have Justin and Joe from Chicano Brand, as well as Morgan Laguna from the Art Walk that's going to be taking place downtown.
And you can listen to the podcast version of our program and past episodes at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio, and email us at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com.
All right. Thank you again. Appreciate it. And you guys have a safe weekend. We'll be back on what is that? Monday. Yeah, that's
Happy Friday.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the weekend.
I'm gonna go sleep.
All right, nap time. We're out.
What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter is sponsored by Yuma and Imperial Valley Wealth Management, offering solutions for those who value financial planning. YIVWM.com.
This is Border Radio, KOFA Yuma. We can be heard on a radio at 94.7 FM and 1320 AM, on a computer at kawc.org, and on your phone with the KOFA app. We have been a service of Arizona Western College for more than 55 years.
The Arizona Western College Jazz Ensemble, directed by Dr. Sean Pollard, will present its fall concert on Tuesday, November 19th at 7 in the evening at the AWC Theater. The performance will feature AWC student musicians performing a variety of engaging interpretations of the current and historic scope of big band jazz repertoire.
BBC News with